It could just
Your
be.
voice confuses me.
It could just be out of bulb. Like,
No, it's not. It's not bulb.
have you replaced the bulb?
Yes, I've replaced the bulb. It's something to do with the switch.
Oh.
Weird. Did you put a Bluetooth bulb in it?
No.
Okay, just checking.
And they're Wi-Fi bulbs, not Bluetooth bulbs.
I don't give
Oh,
a shit.
Jesus Christ.
I don't.
With that
I
being
don't
said,
buy
guys,
those.
welcome back to
Sure,
another
they're fun.
episode of What You Take, the show where we talk about just about anything we can possibly think of and bring you guys along for the unfiltered, unapologetic ride. As always, you're going to have myself here, Steve, my brother Chris.
Hi! How are you doing? I'm full of joy and pep. I was told I should be more people-friendly. This is an attempt at that. Spencer, how are you doing?
Sexy Spence.
I don't like that.
That was creepy as
yeah.
fuck.
No, it's like one of those where like, oh, someone didn't quite level out your drugs right.
That's exactly what the fuck that was.
I'm medicated!
Yeah, I don't feel sad. Like, just one tear. Like, fucking A, man.
Fucking love it. So, guys, I got a couple of things I wanted to run past you here. It's a little bit of a catch-up from some of the projects that we've been seeing going on with, like, movies, upcoming movies, rumors, all that other kind of fun stuff like that. But before we get to that, Chris is going to talk to you guys about Dubby.
Hi, guys. It's me again. W Energy's got a nice, clean energy. It gets you nice and elevated to a state of mental awareness that you're able to complete your day-to-day task. There's also no horrible burnout, no regretting your life at the end of it, just like me and Red Bull. And Monster too. I'm real addicted to both of those. But it's real nice, real clean, real easy to make. You just fill up one of your bottles with water, add about, 2 scoops, Steven?
1 scoop.
1 scoop. 1 scoop. Don't do 2 scoops. You might not be able to handle 2 scoops. 1 scoop. And you just give it a nice little shake. These things come in a bunch of different great flavors. And I'm sure my wonderful friend over there, Steven, and brother, knows many more of these flavors. But this is the Galaxy Grenade, and it's what I've been rocking all day. Keeps me nice and light and aloof and ready to do these W Energy ads all day long. But, you gotta check it out for yourself. You really gotta try it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Go to w.gg and order now with our order code What You Take 10. Save 10% off your order. It comes in a little bucket, just like protein powder. Give it a shot. Keep you going. Yeah.
So, first thing I want to confirm, Spence, you brought this to us here, and we don't know exactly to what capacity or anything like that, but Henry Cavill,
Yes.
Wolverine,
Yes.
how are we feeling about that?
I love it.
Do you?
I do.
Talk to me about it.
All right. Now, so I know. Okay, here's the thing. I just love Henry Cavill.
I mean,
period.
that's a fair statement.
Like, he's too good looking, first off. As a straight man, too good looking. It's not fair. But the thing that gets me about that is, like, I think it'll work because of how good of an actor he can be. But to me, he technically doesn't encompass anything that's Wolverine. Like, Wolverine's like 5'3" and a hairy, brutish guy.
right.
Where Henry Cavill looks like Prince Charming.
I'm pretty sure Henry can get fucking grimy and hairy.
Well, yeah, we get that from The Witcher, but, like, he's still supposed to be like a short, grunty brick house.
Then you just gotta fuck around with some camera angles like they did to Elijah Wood.
Oh, just make him seem smaller
Yeah.
than he is. I mean, I guess it's just... I feel like we can find a short Canadian somewhere.
If only there was one that we knew of.
Is Kevin Hart in there? Is he Canadian?
No, I was joking about Ryan Reynolds, but he's already Deadpool.
He's also like 6'2".
Is he?
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds also, I don't think, could be vicious enough to even be conceivable as Wolverine. Like, I just that's
his
a whole
face
other
is too...
So what we know about it is he's going to be a Wolverine variant
Right.
in the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine film. What's yet to be figured out is if he's just going to be one of many cameos that's zoning in as different variants in this film, or if
Right.
he's going to be heading the mantle moving forward as Wolverine. I think as a cameo, I think it works just fine. I don't know that long term I would want to see Cavill be Wolverine.
No, that's, I guess, yeah, as like a variant, I suppose it is kind of nice. Like, I don't know, I'm happy he's there. Like,
Right.
That's where I'm at, but like, I still don't know who would be a good replacement for Wolverine.
That might honestly be one of those that they just kind of let it die when Jackman's done with
I
it
kind of
for a
hope
while.
so, actually. Like, maybe when I'm like 50, yeah, cool. I'll be like, hey, back in my day, it was Hugh Jackman.
Correct.
It's only 15 years away.
Yeah. It's only 20 for you.
22.
22. It's right around the corner. You're going to blink and you're going to be ancient.
I know.
Half a century. 50 years.
50.
5 decades.
50 winters.
50. Yeah.
Why is it that when you say it like that, it seems even shorter?
Yeah.
Anyway, but so that's Wolverine.
I don't know where to take. Why'd you bring that up like that?
I don't know.
It's so weird.
Mortality.
Are we just getting? It's ironic that we're talking about Wolverine, who's
Immortal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, close thing too.
Oh, if he didn't get the... If he didn't
Adamantium.
Yeah.
I still think it was the GMOs that were doing it to him more than the adamantium.
I think it was both.
Oh no, I definitely think it was a combo factor. I just think the adamantium is what killed him faster, whereas like before he would have just aged more human.
Yeah.
I guess. So yeah, I guess both. But anyway, sorry, Henry Cavill.
Oh, you're good.
Love that guy.
The other rumor actually deviates away from that and goes more into the DC realm again. We've talked previously that we would love to see Batman being portrayed as Jason Ackles or through Jason Ackles. Jensen. Sorry. What did I say?
Jensen.
I was thinking of fucking Red Hood. And then also Al Rickman. Okay. So, no. What is his last name? Why am I fucking up actors?
Alan Rickman's been dead for a minute.
Yeah, that was Snake. Who the fuck am I thinking of? The Reacher guy.
Alan Ritchie?
His name isn't Richie.
I think so.
It's not Richie. I know that.
Google it
It's
real
Alan. Look it up
fast.
for me real quick. Anyway, there's another name in the ring that has confirmed that they would be honored to play Batman. Jake Gyllenhaal.
No. It's a pass.
I'm trying to picture him. Like I'm picturing the chin. Like it's there, but it's just not there.
No.
You would end up with a Christian Bale kind of Batman,
Right.
If he were to go that route.
Nah, I'm good.
Alan Richardson.
Richardson. Okay. I knew it was the riff feeling.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Jensen Ackles, though. I'm sorry.
Ackles is always going to be my first pick as far as Batman goes.
That's my thing. I would have doubted it till I saw him in The Boys and seeing how he did as Boy Soldier.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. I was close.
What becomes increasingly more clear with Gyllenhaal's name being put in the ring now, though, is it does seem like they are wanting to go the route of the thinner Batman. You look at Christian Bale, you look at Pat Bat, we look at Jensen being in the ring, now we look at Jake being in the ring. It seems like the big broody one is maybe not necessarily the direction that they're going to go.
Right. Like, dude, looking at Ben Affleck when he was Batman, like, dude was a shit brick house.
He really was. He was a big boy.
That's the thing. I would prefer Alan Richardson to take it because I just want to see Batman kick the unliving fuck out of people.
I'm not gonna lie. I guess that dude is just so big it almost doesn't seem fair.
He's so good at violence.
He is.
Like,
it's that calm demeanor of just death.
Yeah, like I want to see him fucking put his foot in somebody's chest and send him across a fucking warehouse.
Because you will see that.
Yeah,
but like here's
or like
my
pick
thing.
him by the shirt.
No,
and
I guess my thing is like you look at Batman and he's always like the height of the criminals. He's not like some 6'8" behemoth of a man that just that's Bane. That's what Bane's there for. Batman's a detective.
Do you think Alan Richardson could play Bane?
No.
Comics Bane.
No.
No?
No.
I'm gonna have to kind of agree with that. Actually, it's just because like Bane is comically huge, like whereas like I feel like he's just a big dude. That's like he looked like the Brute in one of like the Joker's henchmen.
Yeah, because at that point the only other alternative is you start to look at what they did with Tom Hardy's Bane, and you'd basically just get a beefier version of that. There's no
CGI Bane or bust.
There's no, but that's just it. They need to not do it. DC needs to stay away from CGI. Like, God help them, they need to stay away from CGI.
Like, remember when they did the Henry Cavill with that mustache?
Yeah, that was
it was
bad.
in the contract of that Mission Impossible.
Yeah, that whole thing needs to just not be a thing.
How are they so bad at it, though?
Budgets. They try and cut the corners with it.
I get the one thing you shouldn't cut corners
Correct.
with.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Now, something else I did want to talk about, because we really didn't get to talk about it a ton the last time that we discussed this, because the video never aired for it, was the discussion around a Batman Beyond animated project in the style of Spider-Man in
I heard it got
Spider-Verse.
canceled.
Oh, it did get canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did it get canned?
Recently.
Yeah, it was like a few weeks
It was a
ago.
concept art that they wanted to do, and there were
for
some
sure.
serious talks about it, but they decided not to greenlight it, which is unfortunate. Because to me, that animation style with that bat, oh my god, that would have been beautiful.
Get Shia LaBeouf in here. Just
do it!
do it!
Fucking do it!
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. That universe with that animation style would have
Dude,
been
it
a
would have been-
perfect fucking match.
Dude, it's just a beautiful animation style.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially with a character that is supposed to be as nimble as like Batman Beyond or Spider-Man, it works specifically well, I think.
well, just seeing like even just the old cartoons where he was like steaming through like or like running through the alleyways and like flying and stuff. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a waste to me that they're skipping out on that because like concept art was just gorgeous.
No, I totally agree.
But I don't know. It's always kind of interesting seeing that kind of stuff.
I am interested to see, speaking of kind of backpedaling a little bit, speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, I keep hearing about all of these different variants that are going to show up and these different timelines that they're going to visit to clean things up and so on and so forth like that. And I'm really become curious as to if this is going to have a serious plot to it.
Yeah.
Or if this is going to accidentally become the pinnacle of the multiverse issue that Marvel has had, where they're just going to time hop all over the place. It's going to be fun and quirky because it's Wolverine and Deadpool,
Yeah.
but it's not going to actually do anything.
I really wish what
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of wish what they would have done with Deadpool a lot more was like, you know how they have the Easter eggs and the cameos and all this? I would have loved to see Deadpool popping around and just out of nowhere.
Almost like Deadpool take over for Stan Lee when he did his cameos.
Exactly. Like, you know, there's like Deadpool eating a chimichanga, reading a comic book when the Hulk goes flying by or something. You know, just little fun things like that.
Yeah.
Because that's like his character.
Yep. Have him pop in as the post-credits guy all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, don't get up yet. There's another scene coming. And then just have him, like, walk away from the screen.
Right. Like, I think one of my favorites was my favorite cameo that was with Stan Lee in the library where he was just listening to music and Spider-Man was fighting Lizard Man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love all the Stan Lee cameos.
Oh, dude.
They were a highlight of Marvel movies for me.
They were, and that was everything that led up to pre-Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Right.
like, I don't know, that whole thing.
Did
Well,
Stan Lee live to see Infinity War?
I don't know.
I'm sure he saw it.
That's it. That was my only question.
Now I'm kind of wondering when Stan Lee died.
It
Well,
was,
and then, I mean, speaking of Stan Lee, they have all of the Spider-Man movies now are getting re-released to the theaters. All, like, 8 of them, I think.
oh, really?
Are going back. The Tobey ones, the couple that Garfield did.
I've been seeing a bit of. I've noticed it with Critical Role. This is a bit of a side tangent, but it relates to theaters. I've been seeing a number of like shows like that actually rent out movie theaters to do like live shows and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's actually really neat that they're like incorporating the two mediums together. With like how we've talked about how like YouTube has kind of become like TV at this point, and you
Right.
know, things like that. That's it. It was just a little sidebar.
So Stan Lee died in November 2018, and the movie Endgame came out in like April 2019.
Oh.
Well, no, it came out.
Oh, but he definitely.
He probably got an early peek at it.
Yeah.
And if he didn't get the final product, you imagine that he would have seen
He was
the
probably there-
majority of
right,
it.
like he was there for the editing. Here's the thing: I don't think movies like that are like they don't enjoy it quite like we do. I guess to them, it's like the work and effort that went into it. It's not so much the entertainment.
Right.
See, I don't know. I mean, I think it could be the flip side of that, though, too. Like, you put all that work and everything into it, and then when you do see the final product,
Yeah.
I think you are entertained to see how... Because you got to remember, I think there's a lot of times with actors that you see, though, too, where they're like, I didn't know how the final thing was going to play out, because we shot 5 versions of this scene, but
Right.
then what people have
They
oftentimes...
shoot out of order sometimes too.
They shoot out of order, and they're not on set when everything else is done.
Yeah.
So they may understand how the film is starting and ultimately how it ends, but they may not know all of the nitty gritty.
I guess in my viewpoint, though, it's just like seeing behind the scenes of everything.
Yeah.
It's got to be weird. It's got to throw you out of the magic.
Oh,
That's
I
my
imagine.
thing. Like, So I don't know. It's like, oh, hey, I remember when you stubbed your toe when you kicked that
Right.
helmet. You know, like that was
everyone
funny.
why does everyone go back to Vigo?
I have no idea. It's just it's
Vigo's
my
a-
go-to.
Vigo's a fucking legend.
But no,
that's
it's
why.
it's funny that you said that because the thing that came into my head was the example of like when was it Boromir? When Boromir had died.
Yeah.
It was like everyone knew that Boromir died, but maybe some of the actors didn't know how he died or something.
Right.
It was like my example went to Lord of the Rings also, which I just thought was funny.
I love my favorite on the set scene or on the set fact about Lord of the Rings is I can't remember the guy's name, but the dude who plays Gimli was apparently notorious for just beating the fuck out of extras.
yes.
Yeah. The stuntmen would run at him and they're like pretend to swing, and he just starts smacking
Yeah,
them.
and like they were afraid to run at him and shit like that because, well, that's the thing is like a lot of them had like blunted weapons and things
Yeah.
like that, but like Gimli's axe was full weight,
Yeah.
like. So I'm sorry.
Well, they ended up doing that with the Rohirrian girl towards the end because her fake strikes were looking too fake.
Yeah.
So they said like hit him, like
Just actually hit him.
hit
Yeah.
him. I don't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Star Wars or another. It was another film franchise where they actually no, it might have been Matt Damon. Now that I'm thinking about it, with the Bourne movies.
Yeah.
Where he worked with this specific stunt guy for like forever, and they had this agreement because he was self-admittedly just horrible with fake fighting, and
Yeah.
he would always end up clocking someone. And so he made a deal with all of his stunt people, like, hey, if I ever actually punch you, I'm gonna buy you a really nice bottle or a case of champagne or something like that. And they were all about it, like whatever. And then he started working with this one French.
Either way, you're punching me.
Right.
Like,
And then he started working with this one guy, and he went to make him the deal, and he's like, Matt, how about you just don't fucking hit me, please? like, fuck you and your champagne, just don't fucking hit me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I thought would be a fun career too, is being a stuntman. But
see, I want to say yes, but like I always hear the horror stories of what goes on behind the stunts. Like Harry Potter stunt double, paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god, I heard about that. That was a bad one.
yeah, like there's
in
so
our Harry Potter or the one
Yeah.
they're working on?
No, our Harry Potter.
yeah.
Oh wow.
As stuntmen get hurt a lot.
There was,
Like-
well, and then you talk about the guys who do their own stunts. I mean, Jason Statham, I think he did one for Transporter, or it might have been Expendables, where
Yeah.
he was like driving a car off a cliff or something,
Yeah.
and he couldn't get out of the fucking car.
Right.
And it was like, because in those movies, you send the fucking car.
Yeah.
So he was like maybe another 5 feet, and I was going with that car. And
Yeah.
I just, you think about that shit, and you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, oh my god. Like, did you ever see those, like, 1920s, like, where they didn't have, like, the safety precautions, and you saw those, like, funny black and white ones, like, oh, the front of the church fell, and the guy standing in the doorway?
Someone had to measure that and be like, all right, where can Bill stand?
Yeah.
Right, like,
And
you
then-
stand there, and
Well,
how good are you with math?
And then
like,
you just kind of hope that the measurements are right.
Well, yeah, that's
Right.
the thing. That's a bit of a wild ask. Like,
Right.
hey, stand here. Don't fucking move.
Don't sneeze, don't breathe,
Yeah.
don't even fucking
if you
pray.
if
Dude.
you move wrong, you'll die. Do
there
you
was
trust
one
me?
I saw where, like, the dude was riding in the front of a train.
Yes, I love that one.
Yes! That was a train!
That was a real thing.
That was,
Yeah.
no CGI. If you would have tripped,
Dead.
dead.
Instantly.
Just done.
Gone.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah.
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 Are those guys who fall and what they fall on is just boxes?
Have you seen the guys on the beach that like do their training for death? Like, have you seen these fuckers
I don't
before?
think so,
Oh
man.
my god! There's this video. This kid, he was a stunt double of some kind, and he was practicing stunts for just like dying, like getting shot and whatnot,
Yeah.
and how like so you get shot and you're just full flop, right?
Yeah.
and you're not supposed to really brace yourself or anything like that.
Yeah, you're supposed to fall like a wet noodle.
So dude is like, full running or whatever, and like you see him like, warp his head or something, like he gets hit and he just drops.
Oh, shit.
And all of the different ways that he's just letting his body drop on the sand. I watched this the first couple, I'm like, ow.
Yeah, you're.
Just,
You see, the benefit of when you really
Ow.
get shot is you don't feel that after.
he had a couple where he was like jumping or like, diving for something and then getting shot, and it's just like, ah! and I'm like, ow.
In the middle of doing a jump and just drops. Like, dude,
I'll have to
I don't know. I
find this
couldn't-
for you guys.
Oh, my God.
It's fucking nuts.
No, I just remember, like, dude, some of the like, the thing is, these guys know how to fall to not hurt themselves.
Yeah. Well,
Like, who else do you know that can get thrown down a flight of stairs and walk away fine?
You know, honestly, being a stuntman would be a great profession in the zombie apocalypse. Like, shitty building gutters. That's an alley. There are some boxes.
I mean, my question
I
is,
know
like,
what to do.
do you not get hurt, or do you just stop caring after a while? Like, you build up a
think there's,
degree
like-
of a callus.
Both, I think.
Yeah,
I think
like,
both.
You get a higher pain factor than most people, but I'm sure you get bruises. Like,
Oh, I mean, yeah.
yeah.
If you don't get undressed at the end of the night and are just covered in bruises, did you really go to work that day?
Well, my biggest thing too is like it's not like they can't be breaking bones. That would be dumb. But
Yeah.
like they're
Some of
definitely
these fuckers
like,
do, man. I mean,
I guess it's just you can't do that and keep that as your profession.
Right.
But like, I've seen it too where it's like jumping through glass. I mean, not real glass, obviously,
Sugar
but
glass, yeah.
yeah, even the sugar glass though, that's still hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You're still dropping on it. Like,
sugar glass is kind of fun to play with. I've done that a few
Yeah.
times. It's kind of fun.
well, it's cool because it like breaks apart and it looks like real glass, but nothing's sharp.
Right.
Yeah.
Like sharp. But,
Right. I mean,
don't know.
it's just even like the breakaway like sink. So like the back to the Bourne movies. There's I think it was the Bourne Supremacy, where Jason Bourne's fighting that assailant and they're like hopping in and out of like all the different condos and stuff.
Yeah.
And he takes the dude's head and straight through a porcelain sink. It's like, listen, I know it's a breakaway sink. He knows it's a breakaway sink. But like, at what point do you tell the guy like, hey, do you like champagne? Because like, if it is porcelain and it's just like pre-broke, like,
You're still hitting porcelain.
hurt, man.
Yeah. Something's keeping that together, and that amount of force is now going to be into your face.
and even if it's a pull away, like if it's someone on the set or something, it's like, okay, in 3, 2, 1, pull. What if you don't pull it in time?
Right. And I think that's where most of the injuries come from.
Just
Is
timing.
like, yes.
Ow.
Yeah.
Fucking
So that means
ow.
if some guy slips when pulling the rope, you just took a sink to the face.
Right. Even if it's not real porcelain, it's like that. It's still a thing. It's not
You know
cardboard.
the most terrifying? Okay, the most.
Here's the most psychologically fucked up thing about it. If you're a stunt man and somebody doesn't pull that on time, and you're a fan of the actor, like I like Matt Damon. I wouldn't call Matt Damon my hero, but like, can you imagine just having your shit rocked by Matt Damon on accident?
But that's just it. There are two
Your
kinds
face
of people.
is just scarred up, and it's like Matt Damon did this.
There are two kinds of people.
Well,
There's
not even that, just the horror. Like, oh god, you're such a cool. Oh.
There are two kinds of people, though. You're gonna end up with a person that's like, I got my shit rocked by Matt Damon. I'm never working on, or it's gonna be like, oh my god, I got my shit
Right.
rocked by Matt Damon.
And I feel like both of them are often the ones in like
It's
stuff.
like I trusted you. I looked up to you.
I put my faith in you.
I thought you were good.
it's okay, Mr. Damon.
My
you
wife
can hit me
weeped when
again.
she saw me. Like, but no, like okay, like the other thing too though is like I was watching one where it showed a stuntman. He's like, here's how easy it is to get hit by a car. Literally, a real life car is just speeding at him,
Jump.
and he just slightly jumped and he took his back and he hit that, and he just leapt off like a kid, and then he's just like, oh, and that was it.
It's no big deal. You know, I tried that once. I almost died.
Right. You know the scariest thing that I've ever heard is it was from The Dark Knight. The scene where Joker slams that dude in the pencil.
Yes.
He actually was slamming his head into the table.
Yeah.
Like getting knocked out. And he had to actually move the pencil himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
So if he didn't move that pencil in time, Heath Ledger would slam his head,
just straight murder him.
murder him. Apparently it was off camera. Right at the last second he'd pull the pencil. Right before he literally smacked his face.
Can we just take a moment and just address even
He got knocked out 3 times.
even just that scene alone?
Or two.
Just,
Two times.
just the smack, like it's magic on.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the literal fuck just happened with this? Like the insanity that is, or that was that character and
Oh my
was
God.
that performance is just fucking
See, that's the
mind-boggling.
thing that gets me. It's like, what in the fuck?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just surprised that was even allowed, to tell you the truth. Like, being that much of, like, a slight slip and you're dead.
Yep. I mean, it's just the filmmaking in general, the amount of, everyone's like, oh my God, they have these multi-billion-dollar budgets or million-dollar budgets and all this other kind of stuff. But it's like, the amount of times you hear about, like, shit being rather ghetto, you're like,
Right.
what?
Right.
Like, seriously? This
Wait,
is a thing?
This is what's holding up everybody is this little teeny ring.
Well, yeah, you know, we needed to be able to break away easily. Like, okay, but what? Was there such a thing as too easily?
My keychain's bigger.
I can break my keychain. Why do we need something smaller than that?
This This is not safe. Like, but no. Well, honestly, I think my biggest lesson with that was when I was watching MythBusters as a kid.
Okay.
And you know how those two always they used to work in the background magic of the watching that, and then you always I loved watching MythBusters because they'd explain some cool behind the scenes movie magic.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, that was it. Like that was the thing that shocked me. Is sometimes the simplest shit was I mean,
multi-million-dollar budgets, and you used a firecracker.
See, the thing that gets me
a
here's
20-cent fucking firecracker.
I'm taking my stand, and I don't care. You know what bugs me when you hear a movie costs $700 million to produce? You're like, okay, $600 million of that went to paying the actors.
Correct.
So you have a team of 40 people with $20,000 to make movie magic, and then this pompous prick is sitting here eating ham, making $120 million. I don't know.
But then it's the flip side.
I should say pompous prick. They are usually nice people.
But it's then on the flip side, you have people like Keanu Reeves that you have footage of him on the John Wick set where it's it was downpouring and set people were rushing to grab gear, and fucking Keanu goes out there and he's grabbing gear soaking wet and hauling it back too. And it's
that's why I was I shouldn't shit on all of them. I'm just
I mean, Keanu is something special to begin with.
He's a unique one.
He really is.
Dude, he took all of his Matrix profits for charity.
Donate most of his salaries.
Well, wait, was the Matrix one charity, or was that the one where he gave all the crew huge bonuses?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Dude,
I
something
did,
like that.
I heard a similar story. I just don't recall exactly which one it was.
No, but there's a point in time where he always takes money, and he'd always show up with coffee and donuts for the crew, and it's that's a genuinely good person.
He's a wholesome fucking dude, but it's and at the same time, he's a really fucking hard worker. I mean, you look at the behind the scenes stuff that he did for John Wick because it became so mainstream, right? But he'd be at Terran Tactical and the drills that he ran to be familiar with the guns and the reload and the legit accuracy of the guns that he was using is dumb.
Oh my god!
I mean, have you seen those Terran Tactical
videos?
videos?
My god, yeah, dude. I was just gonna say, I loved it when I just actually watched John Wick 2, and I loved it when he was actually checking a gun that was known for jamming if it was jamming constantly, and it was so cool because I'm that gun's. And I didn't realize this till I watched one of those YouTube videos explaining all the behind the scenes cool little Easter egg shit. It's you want to know why he was checking this gun right here? Because this type of gun is known for jamming. So he was consistently checking it. And this one, he reloaded with his pinky because you can do this and it's this style. And it was he was actually explaining the techniques and stuff. So whoever the fuck the guy is who did the gun design and the arsenal knows his shit.
The gunplay in those movies will forever, in my opinion, be unmatched. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous. Yeah. It's just purely unmatched in every possible way.
Right. And honestly, oh god, I don't know. So I just look at it, it's just just knowing what this gun's known for, its flaws, and how he tactically used it.
Yep.
And handled it, and I don't know. It was just, I forgot how well those movies were, so rewatching them, I was fucking A.
I think what almost blows my mind a little bit more than the gunplay and the choreography and whatnot is when you get the car people that will do shit with cars.
Right.
I mean, that stuff is fucking stupid. And sit there and just drift around about at a perfect 90-degree angle within inches of shit. And I'm just, that blows my mind.
See, okay.
I like to think I'm a good driver, but fuck.
Dude, Fast and Furious, bringing this up. Dude, the first 4 or 5 were okay, if you're an actual car person, this is a little far-fetched, but this is your shit.
It's doable. Yeah.
It's doable. But especially Tokyo Drift with the drifting styles and the tire, it was
absolutely.
That movie got a lot of shit when it was first came out. But then it's the Star Wars movies. When people looking back are okay, yeah, no, those are actually.
I actually
pretty good.
thoroughly enjoyed Tokyo Drift.
I did too, and it got a bunch of shit, and I don't understand why. But whatever, people suck.
It's because of Lil Bow Wow.
Yeah, it's 100%. God,
I watched Tokyo Drift once.
Yeah,
yeah,
you love it.
Yeah.
Just mediocre.
The big credit that I've got to give to actors of all kind, but when it's specifically the one that comes to mind is Star Wars and like Ready Player One, is the guys that don't get to work with practical sets. Like when you work in a film like Ready Player One and everything is green screen, you have got to take your imagination to a whole nother level. But I think that back to what you said before about like the
imagination.
Oh God, Chris,
Is your camera even on?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like you go back to like the entertainment value for the actors. It's like you can sit here and you can look at concept art and you can be told a million different things and how you're going to interact with this and all that other kind of stuff, and you do your whole performance based on that. And then in post, you see how that actually looks and what you actually were interacting with.
Yeah.
That's got to be a degree of a mindfuck where you're just like, what the
Yeah.
Well, dude, you ever see like even like spit back to The Hobbit, for example?
Oh, yeah.
The Hobbit, whatever, the Smog one.
Yep.
Fucking that scene where like the dragon's coming down and Benedict Cumberbatch is just being all weird. Like you have to be acting while Benedict Cumberbatch is on all fours.
Oh, the
snarling
behind
at you.
The behind the scenes
Like,
of Smaug.
yeah.
That shit was funny.
Yeah. That was
Oh my
fucking
God.
hilarious.
So yeah, and the desolation of I don't know. It was just like, what? How do you keep a straight face?
Right.
You know,
You have Benedict Cumberbatch in like a latex suit, full of dots, snarling at you.
Try to imagine taking Andy Serkis seriously.
No, dude, right?
like, well, and like credit to another actor I think is kind of underrated is Martin Freeman. I feel like he's really underrated. He's the one that did Bilbo, and then he did.
Oh yeah,
he has some really good shit.
He is really good.
He did Bilbo. He was in Black Panther.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else is? Oh, he was.
He's done a lot of shit.
Yeah, he was in Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, he's Watson in Sherlock Holmes.
Yep.
But really good actor. Really like him.
Dude,
No, for
there's
sure.
some actors that are just like, you kind of like, they don't get the credit they deserve because they take very difficult roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. There's like celebrity star actors that are like, you're good looking, so get in here.
Well,
Then
yeah,
there's like the deep seated, like, oh, you're committed.
Yeah, like Ian McKellen and
Yeah, that's the guy from,
Ian McKellen is Gandalf.
oh, yeah, sorry. Wow.
Magneto.
No, who was I thinking of? Who's the guy from There Will Be Blood? Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh.
Dude, that's one of those guys who just does not break character.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't, like...
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be really weird hanging around method actors, though.
Dude, I know, but there's something like when he was in Gangs of New York, apparently he was just a full asshole, and he would, like, be in his hotel room throwing knives. Like, he just did not break character.
Damn.
So he was, like, that asshole.
Just damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, literally, he had a piece of wood in his hotel room, and he would just practice throwing knives all day at it. And it was just, yeah.
Just what he did, huh?
I even think he, like, took butchering classes. Like, dude's a method actor. Method.
That's fucking gnarly.
So weird.
Yeah.
My biggest concern with method acting, I guess, is like the state of total immersion you go into is like, I don't know. I always feel like it's a dangerous game.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Can you
look
pull yourself back?
You get a lot of actors that have suffered from that. I mean, Heath Ledger,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you talk about a character that you maybe really didn't or shouldn't have method acted into, and it was probably Joker. You know, and I mean, again, great actor, great performance. It's sad what happened, man, but that's a really good example
Jack
of the dangers.
Nicholson warned him about that role, too.
Yeah.
Didn't
even.
he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, careful, kid. It can be kind of
Intense.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think he actually said all-consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something like that.
Yeah, it's like you said. It's a dangerous game to try and pull yourself back out of. I'm falling into
Yeah,
nothing.
I was like, what the
can
hell's
tell.
going on
I
over
broke
there, man?
physics over here. Hold on.
You can do it!
Well, while Chris
I
puts
started
himself-
going up like that.
It's pulling me to the singularity.
While Chris goes ahead and pulls himself back together, we're going to go ahead and pull this episode to a wrap here, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. Until next time, peace.
Out.